Michael Schur here at TYT with our little guidebook, my Cliff's Notes to the positions of both candidates, the Democrat and the Republican. There are other candidates, and TYT will be letting you know about their positions as well. This is the Republican and Democratic candidates. We're going to start with Hillary Clinton on the issue of civil and voting rights. Civil and voting rights, a big part of this election, due in large part to the way it's been framed by her Republican opponent. We'll get to that in a separate video. When it comes to voting, Hillary Clinton has some novel approaches to it. She wants everybody to automatically be registered. The same way you register for the draft, you are automatically registered to vote on your 18th birthday unless you take the exercise of opting out. So it's work to opt out, not work to opt in. She wants to increase early voting to at least 20 days before an election. In some states it was like that. It was curtailed by a lot of secretaries of state, Republicans mostly. She wants to expand early voting to at least 3 weeks before an election. She wants to repair the portions of the Voting Rights Act. She wants to decrease restrictions for minority voters, young people, low-income voters, senior citizens, people who are usually on the margins when it comes to what the Voting Rights Act was there to protect. It has been a focal point of the way she has campaigned in minority communities. It was why in 2008, before the entrance of Barack Obama into the race, and she was running as a Democrat, why so many African Americans, especially Southern African American elected officials, were behind Hillary Clinton. She is not new to this issue. Repairing and protecting the Voting Rights Act has been an important part of the way she has approached this as an issue involving civil rights and voting rights. And then we move from there to the idea of guns and crime and safety. We're going to put those together. Guns are a complicated issue for Democrats. Always for Republicans, they can toe a party line. Democrats, as anti-gun as you might be, you're campaigning to win in swing states where gun rights and the Second Amendment, states like Wisconsin, North Carolina, Virginia, Ohio, gun rights, the Second Amendment, big parts of the way they view their presidential candidates. Northern Florida, steeped in the Second Amendment. So what Hillary Clinton has done is she wants to go to an area that is seen by gun rights activists as easily defensible, which is demanding and expanding background checks for gun ownership. She wants to keep guns out of the hands of domestic abusers. It's something that a lot of people haven't talked about. She wants not only to keep them out of the hands of domestic abusers, she wants to keep them out of other the hands of violent criminals, obviously, but the severely mentally ill as well. Those are restrictions on gun ownership that a lot of on the other side see as incremental ways of taking guns out of the hands of citizens. She's saying that it's a reasonable approach to how she wants to govern, and then she also wants to repeal the immunity protection that the gun rights and the gun lobby and gun manufacturers have in the cases of violent acts. And you're seeing a case like that in Newtown, or in the state of Connecticut, where lawyers representing the victims of the Newtown massacre going after the gun manufacturers themselves to have some sort of responsibility in this issue. So it's not something she's going to say first in any kind of a speech. It's not the first thing she's going to do when becoming president, but certainly these issues are a centerpiece to the way she wants to bring children into the conversation. So she's going to do it around guns. It's consistent with how she was at the Children's Defense Fund in defense of children. In that way, she wants to do it with guns as well. And that, she thinks, is going to appeal to a lot of voters in these swing states, people who are not comfortable losing their guns, but also see that there need to be some sort of restriction. We'll be back also with Donald Trump's take on the issue of guns, on the issue of voting rights, and you can see all the other issues here at TYT. I'm Michael Schur.